7 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. And we do have a quorum with all board members present. We'll open the meeting with a moment of silence that you could observe as you so choose. Thank you. Now, if you'd stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for being here and welcome to the meeting. And I believe we have a special treat to start the meeting, Dr. Randall.
We do. We have some young students as well as high school students that's going to present the emergency project. Immersion.
Coming together.
Good evening. My name is Carolyn Brostick. I'm an AP Spanish teacher at George Ranch High School. These are some of my students. And we started visiting Sabine Early Elementary because I wanted my students to use the language in context, be able to see the language in context. We started reading children's books. And so we took them to Sabine Early Elementary to read Spanish books to students, and they made such a great connection. My students are bilingual, these students are bilingual, and they got to not only just speak Spanish with each other, but share each other's cultures, and it was a wonderful experience, and I appreciate you letting me share this with you.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Abigail Brown. Going off what Ms. Boxick said, we have an incredible opportunity here, specifically in LCISD, to experience many different cultures, many different languages, especially in Fort Bend, and Mexico is right next to us. So we have an opportunity to get to know one another in through different languages. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Brooke Johnson, and I'm also learning Spanish and English.
Hi, my name is Rosa Pasi, and I'm Italian.
Hello, my name is Christopher Alcea. I'm from Puerto Rico, so I'm a native Spanish speaker, but I'm also bilingual, so because I learned since little as this kid's English.
Okay.
Mi nombre es Mariana. Mi nombre es Becker. Mi nombre es Victoria. Mi nombre es Nacional. Mi nombre es Jeffrey. Mi nombre es Natalia. Mi nombre es
Hoy les vamos a estar leyendo una historia a los niños, recreating how we did this in the school like 1 month ago. Hola niños, hoy les vamos a estar leyendo el cuento No dejes que la paloma conduzca el autobús. Había una vez una paloma que soñaba con conducir un autobús. ¿Algunos de ustedes han soñado con conducir un autobús? ¿Sí? Muy bien. Hola, soy el conductor del autobús. Oye, tengo que irme un momentito. ¿Podrías hacerte cargo hasta que vuelva? Ah, y recuerda, no dejes que la paloma conduzca el autobús.
Creí que no se iría nunca. Oye, ¿puedo conducir el autobús?
¡No!
Por favor. No. Tendré cuidado. No. Bueno, escucha esto. Solo tocaré el volante. No. Mi primo Earl conduce un autobús casi todos los días.
No.
Te lo aseguro.
historia? Aquí viene esto. No es más que un autobús. Tengo aspiraciones, ¿sabes? Está bien. Déjenme conducir el autobús.
Ya estoy aquí. No dejaron que la paloma condujera el autobús, ¿verdad? Muy bien, estupendo. Muchas gracias. Adiós. ¿Qué ustedes creen? Ahora aquí está la paloma y le dice, oiga, eso es un camión. Un trailer. ¿Qué ustedes creen que va a hacer ahora? Muy bien, sí. ¿Les gustó la historia? Sí. Ok, muy bien.
En fin.
And it was really fun and interesting because I actually learned stuff from them, and it was really interesting to see how bilingualism helps in the real world and how they're learning to be bilingual and we are too. So it really just connected us, and we got to be able to interact culturally, and it was a really amazing experience. So we want to thank you guys all for letting us have this opportunity to show you guys what we're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
What a joyous way to start.
No, without a doubt, our kids are really having some great experiences in our school district.
Showing excitement.
Right.
Thank you for the parents for coming tonight.
Right. And, Mr. President, we do have one recognition, if the board would join me out front for that recognition.
That is correct. We have an undefeated state champion wrestler from Foster High School, and Coach Jeffrey Rayom is here to present.
There you go, right to left, huh? Good evening. I had the privilege of introducing this young man to you guys, to this committee 3 years ago as an 8th grader while we were recognizing his sister Chi-Chi. This is Chidozie Nwankwo, also known as Dot to most people. He wrestled the 285 heavyweight division. He was undefeated, 28-0, I believe, and won the state 5A title. And the impressive part about it, is he did so after only a month of wrestling. He was not he due to football constraints, because we do everything well at Foster, or so Mr. Kipping tells us. Due to football constraints, he wasn't able to come out until January. He had about 4 weeks of training before the district meet, and came out and won. He won several meets that included 6A and 5A as well, so he defeated a lot of individuals. I believe within the season, the short season he had, he actually defeated 3 6A placers, so that's very impressive as well. And the most impressive part of all is I had to teach him how to shave about 4 weeks ago. He's only a sophomore, so we have a lot of great things to come from him. He brings to the district the 4th wrestling state title, all 4 of which have come from Foster. Can't ask to work with a better individual. He's very humble, works hard, and this is Coach's dream. So, Chidozie Nwankwo. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. We have his parents here.
Yeah, you all stand. You recognize you all.
And his little brother, the next one in line is, okay. And yes, y'all are on Facebook Live, so smile.
Okay.
See, I believe you said he was from Foster, is that?
Just a couple times.
Yeah, another great thing. Do we have any introductions this evening, Dr. Adams?
We do not.
All right. Audience to patrons.
There are none, Mr. President.
All right. We need to approve the minutes of February 13th, 2018, the special meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the special meeting workshop minutes of February 13th.
You have a second to that? Any discussion, questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Thank you. I need a motion to approve the minutes of February 15th, 2018, regular board meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second to that?
I'll second.
Any discussion or questions? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? There are none. Thank you. Board member reports? I know we have 2 or 3 or...
I can go. The
All right.
Finance Committee met this week and heard the final recommendations from Gallagher on the medical prescription plan administrator and stop loss and pharmacy benefit manager, and they'll be giving us a presentation tonight on their recommendation for that.
All right, here we go. We did have a Board Facilities Committee meeting this evening, early evening. Don Carter Elementary School, construction is progressing well. Exterior masonry is being installed. Interior painting is underway, and ceiling grid is being installed. And schools on the board agenda for award of construction contracts are New Culver Elementary School. 9 contractors submitted cost proposals. And Fulshire High School shell space, 8 contractors submitted cost proposals. Schools currently out for bids, New Roberts Middle School, 9 contractors submitted cost proposals and will be presented at the April board meeting. Construction is well underway for the new maintenance and operations facility scheduled to occupy in April. Band hall additions at Terry High School and Lamar Consolidated High School preparing for occupancy, and they did show pictures and they look amazing. They really did an excellent job. Natatoriums at George Ranch High School, Foster High School, and Fulshire High School scheduled for completion in August. District-wide access controls. Installation of card access hardware is ongoing at all schools. Linking all staff ID badges to their schools is in progress. And district-wide site lighting, replacement of exterior lighting on the buildings is nearing completion, and parking lot lights are being installed now. And Foster High School water plant upgrades, the new water well and new water storage tank have been installed at Foster High School and waiting on final test reports to activate. And they gave them the whole week of spring break, and he said, I think they got it done in 2.5 days. So that's good hard working. And last, the tracks at Dickinson and Campbell are almost complete. They might need another 3 weeks, but they look like they're ready for people to start running the tracks. And just for myself, got to read Read Across America at Austin Elementary and Arredondo, and both those schools did an amazing job of getting children excited about reading and excited about Dr. Seuss's birthday. So it was my pleasure to be able to attend both those schools.
Any other reports?
I don't have a report, but I do want to comment. There's a lot of projects that have been completed and through the 2011 bond. And I think that's great to just see how many, the district fence project, the chiller replacement project, the parking lot lighting, Huggins parking and parent drop-off, the access control project at Bowie has been installed and is working, and the Terry High baseball project. It just looks good to see a lot completed, and I thank you very much.
I'll mention a couple of things. The Arredondo reading, that's always fun. And I always take Shel Silverstein, I take some of his books, and we that works for almost any age group, and the one they like best is Ickle Me, Pickle Me, Tickle Me Too. So also attended Leadership Day at Hutchinson, and if you haven't attended those Leadership Days, either, I guess, Meyer or Hutchinson, those are really fantastic to see those kids and the way they handle themselves in front of a very large audience. Also, there's another event. I really found this very fascinating at Terry. This was Passport for Success, and they had an evening there where they invited the parents in, and they were trying to introduce parents to all the various courses that the directions their children could take. They had the continent set up, and they had advanced academic programs, special population programs, career and industry certification programs, college access scholarships, parent access applications, and fine arts and extracurricular activities. And this was their passport, and they had between 400 and 500 people showed up for that meeting, and that is a fantastic way to get the parents in there. You know, we have trouble sometimes getting them in, so I'll compliment Dr. Osagi and his staff for putting this together. That was really, really very well done. There's some other stuff.
We're busy. We're out there.
All right. Any other reports from Dr. Rendell?
Just as a reminder, our kids are really, really doing well across the board, but Tommy Tunes this year, we actually have district-wide the nominations, and we had over 8 nominations for Tommy Tunes Awards, and most of you know that is like the Academy Awards, and it is very, very difficult to get the nominations, and so our kids are doing really, really well. And we showed up at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo as well. We had a number of our kids that were successful, and they're pulling together all of the information, and we'll share that with the board a little later.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. This time we'll establish the consent agenda for the evening. Item A1, A2, B1, B2, B3, B4, B5.
I think we want to pull that one.
Consensus, we pull that one. B6, B7.
I'd like to pull that one.
All right. B8, B9, B10, B11, B12, B13, B14, B15, C1. For the recap, as a consent agenda, we have A1, A2, B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, I'm sorry, we pulled B5, B6, B8, B9, B10, B11, B12, B13, B14, B15, and C1. Entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
Have a second to that? Carol, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, are none. Thank you. Let's go ahead, and before we take these other 2 items, Ms. Danzer, would you mind reading the
See if I can make it.
proclamations?
Yes, we have 3 tonight. The first one, whereas administrative professionals are valuable members of educational teams in schools and their administrative operations, whereas educational administrative professionals contribute in many ways beyond their most recognizable function as administrative assistant, and whereas their assistance is particularly important in the daily activities and operations of the school district, whereas administrative professionals serve our educational community by providing support for students and staff, and whereas educational administrator professionals assist school and district personnel as trusted communicators with parents, community members, and whereas their connection to the community aids in communication, positive public relations within the community. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of Lamar Consolidated Independent School District declares the week of April 23rd through the 27th, 2018 as Educational Administrative Professionals Week, and encourages members of Lamar Consolidated Independent School District staff and community to to express appreciation to our educational administrative professionals adopted this 22nd day of March 2018. Then, whereas school librarians play a critical role in the education process through involvement in reading and research, and whereas school librarians serve as an instructor for early literature appreciation and share a unique knowledge of literature as a way to learn, as recreational pastime, and whereas school librarians serve as a resource director for each campus as well as provide instructional support for teachers and students, and whereas school librarians teach students to use research as an extension of the learning process that will help students throughout their educational career, and whereas school librarians play an important role in curriculum development, textbook selection, and review of instructional materials, and whereas school librarians maintain a knowledge of the instructional technology and educational programs that serve as a resource to students and staff. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees, Lamar Consolidated Independent School District declares the week of April 8th through the 14th, 2018, as Librarians Week, and encourage all members of the Lamar Consolidated Independent School District, staff, and community to express our appreciation to all school librarians adopted this 22nd day of March 2018. And finally, whereas parent and family involvement in children's lives is critical to their success as children and adults, and whereas volunteering is one of the most important aspects of parent involvement, whereas volunteers are invaluable to our schools, teachers, and students by greatly extending and increasing the district's resources, and whereas the goal of Volunteer Appreciation Week is to bring a greater awareness and demonstrate appreciation for many hours of labor provided the volunteers in our schools. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Trustees of the Lamar Consolidated Independent School District declares the week of April 16th through the 20th to be Public School Volunteer Appreciation Week in the Lamar Consolidated Independent School District, adopted this 22nd day of March 2018 by the Lamar Consolidated Independent School District Board of Trustees. And just as I can say, I wouldn't have made it through my 34 years of teaching if I hadn't had marvelous volunteers, because they got things done that I couldn't have gotten done. So,
Thank you very much. This time we'll move to item B6. That's the...
B5.
I'm sorry, B5. I'm checking it off and looking at the wrong one. B5, consider approval of request for the 2018 Historic Site Exemption Qualification for the Simonton School. Do I have a motion to approve?
I have a motion that we approve the request for 2018 Historic Site Exemption Qualification for the Simonton School.
Do we have a second to that?
I'll second it.
All right, discussion? Questions?
So, I know that we asked it so that you mentioned that they're only asking for the residential portion. Last year, do you remember, did they ask for the whole property last year?
The difference last year, I believe, was that the CAD's representation of the properties included both. And so it also included the photography studio. But this year, it's clear that it's just the residential piece.
One of the things that I think that we need to remember is that the first year that this was requested, we didn't approve it, and we didn't have any other residential properties that came to us the first year I was on the board. Last year, after we had this one, we had two more that came to us that were residential homes that were also a historical site, marker site. So I just really feel like if we start to open this up for exemptions for people's homestead, there's a lot of properties in Richmond that can qualify for historical markers, and that's just a dangerous place for us to be.
Any other comments, questions?
Other than I agree.
Right. No other comments? All those in favor, please raise your hand. All those opposed, please raise your hand. Motion fails. Thank you. Now consideration of item B7. That's approval of superintendent SMART goals for 2018-19. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Discussion?
There's two items that, and I probably should have gone over them during the workshop, that are not very clear. And when we were talking about goals, were we going to use measurements by how many students would increase, like the standards? It says we will make increases relative to the state mean-based. But do we need to give you an actual number?
Well, this particular goal, keep in mind that we don't even have the state basis. That target moves. We don't even know what that target is.
Okay.
And so that's why it was written in that manner, so that when we do get that information, then we will be able to report to you that this is where it is and this is where we ended up.
Okay, so it'll come back to the board after they give you that data.
As a part of the reporting, that's how you will get it. Right now, there's no way for us to give you an actual number because the state is still working with that.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. Then I have one other thing. Under the administration and organization, whenever we have committees of stakeholders, it says students, parents, teachers, administrators, community members, and business leaders. Our board members.
Which SMART goal?
I'm sorry, on page 57,
Okay.
the very last one. Are board members not allowed to be on these committees?
Well, that is the strategic plan, and all of that entire process will come to the board for identifying and supporting who's on those committees, and board members certainly can participate in that strategic plan. That is a part of the whole process.
Okay.
You're also a community member and you're a business leader.
But I haven't been asked.
Well, we're still working on the facilitator, so and right now.
I just wanted some clarity on that.
It looks as if we will get a lot of support from Holsworth, even with the strategic planning.
Okay, great. All right, thank you.
So can we vote?
Any other questions, comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion carries. Thank you. In the information items, I believe we have a couple of presentations this evening.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. And we will begin with the quarterly update.
Good evening, everyone. It's my honor to present my first instructional item of my career, the District Improvement Plan update for March 2018. So the Cabinet's really been working with the administrative team on the entire district improvement plan. So I'll go over a little bit of a snapshot from each of the 5 district priorities. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer those, but then the Cabinet members will be standing by as well. As many of you know, we have 5 priorities that deal with C&I, finances, CTE, safety, and outreach and communications. So for District Priority 1, continue to make improvements and advancements in the instructional program. Here are a few of the things we've been working on so far this school year. Administrators, facilitators, and department chairs are meeting monthly to review data, model teaching, and to demonstrate activities and strategies to improve student learning. And an emphasis has really been on written short answer responses, and that was deployed to ensure that students are workforce and college ready. A lot of the colleges talked about writing clearly and succinctly has been a really important piece. Also under District Priority 1, book studies and cohorts are systemically being utilized to offer professional growth opportunities for all of our teachers in all of the core subject areas, and some examples include but aren't limited to the Elementary Mathematics Specialist Handbook and Tools for Thought. Also at the bottom of each of these, you will see the SMART goal and the performance objective that relates back to the actual DIP, which is online. You have a copy of, so if you want to check our work, you can go back and do that later as well. Also under District Priority 1, the week-long Interact curriculum, which is the summer program for teachers to teach them technology tools and practices, was rewritten to focus on the TA TEKS, Our SITs have been working to write several integrated aligned lessons, and they're continuing to work on those lessons right now. Also, the redesign of the online iCafe for our staff members is in the early stages, with the goal of shifting the focus from technology tools to technology-rich lessons. And you might have heard about that, but it's an online website where we go and we can have videos and tools and other things for our staff to go back and check and really get learning on demand. And so there's a shift or a redesign there. AP teachers are working with an EOS consultant to develop strategies for working with underrepresented students in AP courses. Many of you are aware with our work with EOS recently at the high school level. This is really just a continuation of that program. And the Director of Advanced Studies is identifying alternative challenge pool activities that intentionally address underserved students. And really what that is, at the GT level for our elementary kids, we have a robust offering of different things, trying to identify additional students at that level who may be interested in some of our GT programs. Monthly Canvas trainings with secondary teachers began in August, and these trainings include access to online support materials for our new learning management system. Just about every college or university in the country now has a learning management system. Canvas is the one that we're utilizing, and so far it's extremely impressive. 500,000 times it has been accessed by our students and staff just over the last 7 months. So it is definitely being utilized in Lamar CISD. Sheltered instruction for English language learners is being implemented through staff development, learning walks, instructional modeling, data mining, and cohorts. And sheltered instruction is a national program or philosophy, and so it's really more about what we're doing in terms of the learning walks, the data mining, and really trying to make sure we're increasing the rigor and for accelerated language students and get them out into the general population. And to help ensure timely intervention, Skyward is accessed on a scheduled basis to check all of our students' grades, and those reports are shared with administrators and appropriate actions are taken. So obviously reports are ran, and if the grades aren't looking good, we will reach out to that student or that family to make sure that we're getting a hold of them before it is too late in the process. And the MOU with Lone Star College has been completed, and On-Ramps, which is a program with the University of Texas, will be provided at all of the high schools to work on our dual credit program. And here are a few pictures we want to talk about. Really, these first couple of images are talking about those monthly meetings with administrators and facilitators. Stephanie Harvey is really a nationally and internationally known individual who comes out, and she modeled lessons for our teachers and principals. You see they've got the kids in there at that meeting, and everybody really had an excellent time. Also working on 21st century writing and speaking during those meetings with staff. And then another example are Terry High School teachers collaborating on strategies during those monthly meetings about curriculum and instruction. And then you saw a little bit here today with the immersion program, some of our students from George Ranch High School working with our Seguin early childhood kids and getting benefit both ways with some immersion activities. So that's an overview of C&I so far this school year. In terms of District Priority 2, which is to continue planning for the financial health of the district given expected rates of growth and the current economic climate. Budget development for the 2018-19 school year is obviously underway. We're utilizing the 2018 demographic report, which we saw that just this last month, trend data and current year statistics for revenue and expenditure estimates, and we're using the district's finance system modules to project salary and benefit budgets for the general fund right now. You all know the process. There'll be a lot of conversations with Jill and her team in the coming months about that process. Also, trainings have been held for principals and APs and registrars emphasizing coding and the careful review of data being collected for PEIM submissions. So these trainings really talked about, again, accurate coding and the financial impacts that are related whenever you just put in a wrong code for a PEIM submission, how that impacts a lot of things at the state level. So we're really doing some proactive strategies there at the campus level to make sure we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's. Also, the CAFR, or the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report for the 16-17 fiscal year, that was released and will be posted on the district website along with our annual debt transparency report. And this is a really, really cool program I actually saw as well, but the district purchased Forecast 5. It's an analytic software tool that assists in creating projections and strategic financial plans. It's going to be used to publish some visual snapshots of data that we can put on the district websites to be really transparent about how things look. and we anticipate having a preliminary projection before the next DIP quarterly update. So you'll see a little bit of that. It's also, again, it's an analytical tool. They're putting in input, demographic data, student data from across the state, and we're getting to benchmark ourselves and also do some forecasting with every district in the state of Texas. So we're looking forward to sharing some of that here this next go-around. And the district posted the Deputy Superintendent of Support Services position. This position will help improve organizational efficiencies while increasing the level of support to our campus operations. Moving on to District Priority 3, or CTE, continue improvements in career and technology education. The MOU with the TSTC was updated to include course pathways for all offered TSTC certifications, and really we're trying to align our underclassmen courses, freshman and sophomore, to make sure that when they get to the upperclassmen level that they're already on the right track to get certification. So clean that up. And also to support our increased TSTC student enrollment, students enrolled in the 8th grade or high school pathway courses have the opportunity to go out and actually tour TSTC prior to the close of this school year. All students enrolled in a CTE course with an associated certification attached to that will register and take the certification assessment by June 2018. We are really putting a cultural emphasis on CTE courses, just like our AP courses. We want to make sure our kids, when they go through that process, they're actually taking the certification and the test at the end of the school year. A couple more snapshot photos here. I believe last year, trustees saw the robotics program from Hubenac here for one of the student reports. So again, their program is continuing to be excellent. And also, as we mentioned, TSTC campus tours. We have some students from 1621 Place out there this school year looking at the offerings at TSTC. District Priority 4, continue to make improvements to safety and security in the school district. The district has posted the school safety coordinator position, and this employee is intended to streamline support for our campuses while looking to constantly improve our safety and security strategies. Again, that's up online right now. The Technology Services Department met with multiple vendors to develop scopes of work and proposals for disaster recovery business continuity plans and internal and external penetration testing that will identify security risks from inside and outside the school district. In terms of the disaster recovery business continuity plan, it really helps us also define what a disaster is. Oftentimes we think of a tornado or a hurricane, but a disaster for Lamar CISD could also be the administration building or the network operations center burning down. And how do we respond to those kind of things? In terms of the internal and external penetration testing, that's really to make sure that our firewall, our network is safe and secure from both outside and inside. So our Technology Services Department is working on that for this school year. And of course, we encourage safe and drug-free student success by ensuring all of our elementary and secondary campuses have those proactive programs, which we talked about on Tuesday, including things like No Place for Hate, The Leader in Me, Capturing Kids' Heart, etc. And you actually got a breakdown of the participation by campus on Tuesday. A couple of photos here, Leader in Me. I know several trustees have been out to our campuses, Hutchinson and Meyer, who are Leader in Me campuses, and so they had one of their Leader in Me days. And of course, Westendorf Middle School there doing some activities on their campus with No Place for Hate. Finally, District Priority 5, which is continue to develop a coordinated board administration outreach communication program for the community. You talked about it briefly a little bit earlier, but the district is investigating options right now for a comprehensive strategic plan, and conversations are underway right now with potential facilitators to help develop an effective process. Also, a committee was assembled to review and revise the district's affiliated organization manual in preparation for the upcoming school year, and that's really our booster clubs, our PTOs, our PTAs, every affiliated organization that's connected to Lamar CISD in some way. In terms of communication, the February Holdsworth session focused on effective communications, and it was a really cool process. The members of the traveling team actually went out on a listening tour talking to different folks in the district, whether they were paraprofessionals, special education, campus administrators, maintenance and operations, child nutrition, all kinds of folks. We went out and talked to them about how long they'd been in the district, about the culture, how they receive communication, things that they're not getting communication on, and what they'd like to see. So a lot of really good feedback there. Then, of course, last month at our February 19th Staff Development Day, there were a lot of conversations with our Holdsworth team came in and talked about communication between department heads, principals, at all levels throughout the district to try to improve those things. So that is a very expeditious overview of the DIP so far for the first quarterly update. If you have any questions about the DIP that we covered or on anything else in the district improvement plan, again, cabinet members behind me are standing by to answer those questions.
How forward-looking is forecast 5?
Can you talk about that a little bit, Jill? How forward-looking?
I'm going to give Leslie my stuff again. Okay, Forecast 5 has several different modules. The district has purchased 2 of them. One of them, it actually contains a lot of demographic PEMS data that's submitted to the state and various other things. It goes to the district, all the way down to the campus level with all this data. And so we can do comparisons and things with Lamar and the other districts in the state. The other piece is the forecasting piece. We can load our live financial data from Munis into the program and also model current year stuff that hasn't been submitted to PEMS yet. And it's going to help us develop the 3-year rolling financial projections for the district.
So 3 years. Looking forward 3 years.
I'm sorry?
It's looking forward 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Looking forward 3 years, and we'll keep updating it every year so it makes it a rolling 3-year.
You can get in there and play the what-ifs.
Yes, yes, and it has some templates embedded in it also that model the state, so we can compare the templates I typically use with the template embedded in that program and make sure that the projections are accurate and stuff.
Great. I'm thrilled to hear that.
Yep, I'm excited about it. My team's excited about it too. I think Mike's excited.
I'm excited too. We're all excited. Any other questions about the District Improvement Plan quarterly update?
That was impressive.
Very good.
Quick, but very impressive. Appreciate it.
Okay, next up is the 2017-18 Campus Climate Survey. Every year we do a Campus Climate Survey at the end of December at all of our campuses. And this was actually the 5th year that we completed our Campus Climate Survey in Lamar CISD. It covers things such as academic preparation, student support, school leadership, goes down to parent engagement, school operations, just literally everything that might be subjective or a feeling about what you think about your campus. So this year, actually, a total of 20,744 stakeholders joined the conversation, which is the first time that we have cracked 20,000 participants. I believe a little bit more than the recent election that we had in Fort Bend County. And it's 1,000, yeah, it's true.
Sadly true.
And we're up 1,668 responses from last year's Campus Climate Survey. So we continue to encourage participation because we know this is really good feedback for our campuses in terms of their planning with their campus improvement plans for the upcoming school year. And when you have the majority of students telling you what they think, also to clarify, we're actually surveying our students 5th grade and up. So at the elementary level, it's only the 5th graders and then all secondary students. So that's just a little bit of an update. Summary of findings. 8 out of 10 parents and staff members graded their campus as an A or a B. 85% of staff members felt their campus was an A or a B. 77% of students felt their campus was an A or a B, and 87% of parents felt that their campus was an A or a B. And in talking about how these things are improving, if you look at the green, that's 2015, the blue is 2016, and the yellow is 2017. So in all of these areas, we are seeing improvement each year. So in 2015, 80% of our staff gave their campus an A or a B, and we're up to 85% this year. In 2015, 73% of students graded their campus as an A or an B, and we're up to 77%, and the same pattern there with parents. We're at 83%, and now they are up to 87% in Lamar CISD. So certainly we want 100% of all of our parents, students, and staff members to be satisfied with their campus, but we are trending in the right directions. So starting here with academic preparation, these are the staff findings, which I will get to. High learning standards are set for all students at this school. 93% of staff either agree or strongly agree. High expectations are set for all students at this school. 91% of staff members agree or strongly agree. Learning standards and expectations are clearly explained to students at this school. 94% of staff members agree or strongly agree. And curriculum, instruction, and assessment are aligned to support student learning at this school. 92% of staff members agree or strongly agree. From staff members in terms of faculty relations and support, collaboration is encouraged among teachers and staff at this school. 94% of staff either agree or strongly agree. The professional development sessions I have attended have helped me to better meet the learning needs of my students. 82% of staff members agree or strongly agree. Support is available to help me incorporate technology into my instructional practices or work assignments. 93% of staff agree or strongly agree. I feel respected and supported by the principal and other administrators at this school. 89% of staff members agree or strongly agree. I feel respected and supported by other teachers at this school. 94% of staff members agree or strongly agree. And I enjoy working at this school. 93% of staff members agree or strongly agree. Still with staff in terms of school leadership, we asked, have you ever had an issue or concern to discuss with the principal or AP this school year? 70% of staff members said no. But of the 30% who said yes, you can see over to the right that 91% say that he or she was available to talk. 90% say that he or she was courteous and listened to their concerns. And 89% say that he or she responded to their concerns in a professional manner, whether or not he or she agreed with their views. And 73% of that 30% said that he or she resolved their concerns. Moving on to our student findings under academic preparation. My teachers tell me what I need to know to do well in school. 87% of our students agreed or strongly agreed. I am challenged by the work at this school. 76% of our students agreed or strongly agreed. I have to work hard to make good grades. 90% of our students agreed or strongly agreed. I try to do my best in school every day. 88% of our kids agreed or strongly agreed. My teachers show me how our lessons relate to life outside of school. 52% of our students agreed or strongly agreed. And the in-class tests and quizzes match the instruction I receive. 76% of our kids agreed or strongly agreed. Continuing with academic preparation, my teacher gives me extra help when I need it. 79% of our students agreed or strongly agreed. My teachers tell me how well I do on my assignments or tests. 79% again. The courses and activities offered at school are interesting. 69% of our kids agreed or strongly agreed. An adult at school tells me what I need to do to move to the next grade or to graduate. 73% agree, strongly agree. My teachers use technology to teach during class. 87% agreed or strongly agreed. And my teachers expect me to use technology when I do my schoolwork. 47% agree or strongly agree. From our students in terms of student support, I am proud to go to this school. 77% agree, strongly agree. I have good friends at this school. 89% agree, strongly agree. There is a teacher, counselor, or other staff member I can talk to about school problems. 79% agree, strongly agree. And there is a teacher, counselor, or other staff member I can talk to about personal problems. 63% agree or strongly agree. In terms of additional student support, and this is for secondary students only, we've talked a lot about our guidance counselors and college and career facilitators, and we asked them how strongly they agree or disagree with the following statements. A guidance counselor or college and career facilitator has given me advice on how to apply for scholarships. 13% agree, strongly agree at junior high, and 50% at the high school level. A guidance counselor or college and career facilitator has given me advice on how to get into college or workforce development programs. 38% at junior high and 53% at high school. And a guidance counselor or college and career facilitator has explored post-high school career and education paths with me. 13% at the junior high level and 53% at the high school level. Safety and behavior with our students still. I have not seen alcohol and or drugs at this school. 74% agree, strongly agree. I feel safe from gang activity at this school. 79% agree, strongly agree. I have not seen weapons in this school. 80% agree, strongly agree. I respect the teachers at this school. 88% agree, strongly agree. And I feel that other students are friendly at this school. 68% agree, strongly agree. Continuing with safety and behavior, I feel safe at this school. 77% of our students agreed or strongly agreed. I am aware of safety procedures at this school, such as fire drills and tornado or hurricane procedures. 91% of our students agreed or strongly agreed. Discipline is enforced fairly at this school, 67% agree or strongly agree. I know what will happen if I break school rules, 89% agreed or strongly agreed. And I am not being threatened or bullied at this school, 81% of our students agreed or strongly agreed. On this next page, in terms of bullying, the 81% of students said they weren't being bullied. This question only goes for the other percentage, the less than the 81%, and so they're answering these. If I tell a teacher or other adult that someone is bullying me, that person will do something to help. 52% of the students who feel impacted by a bullying issue agree or strongly agree. Students here make it clear that bullying is not tolerated. 29% agree, strongly agree. And teachers here make it clear that bullying is not tolerated. 65% agree or strongly agree. In terms of school operations, I have the textbooks I need for my class. 84% agree, strongly agree. I have access to computers at school to do my schoolwork. 87% agree, strongly agree. I have access to the internet at school to do my schoolwork. 84%. I have access to computers at home to do my schoolwork. 84% agree, strongly agree. And I have access to the internet at my home, 89%. So all about in line there. School operations continued. Fresh, high-quality food is served at the school, 39% agree or strongly agree. I get enough to eat at school, 62% agree, strongly agree. My school is kept clean, 71% of our students agree or strongly agree. And my school is well maintained with working air conditioning and heat, good lighting, and well-kept grounds. 81% of our kids agree or 90 agree. We asked our students if they ride the school bus. 39% said no. 61% said yes. Of the students who do ride the school bus, 78% say they feel safe when they're on the school bus. 84% say they feel safe when waiting for the school bus. And 68% of our kids say the school bus runs on time on most days. We also talked about breakfast and lunch frequency with our students. 34% never eat the food on campuses. 1 to 2 times per month, about 17% of our kids. 3 to 5 times per month, about 15% of our kids. And 6 or more times per month, 35% of our students. And finally, our parent findings here, starting again with academic preparation. Teachers set high learning standards for my child. 90% of students agree, strongly agree. High expectations are set for all students at this school. 82% of parents agree, strongly agree. Learning standards and expectations are clearly explained to my child at this school. 86% of parents agree, strongly agree. My child is being prepared to do well in the next grade level after graduation. 86% agree, strongly agree. My child is receiving effective instruction for his or her abilities. 84% of our parents agree or strongly agree. And teachers give timely and helpful feedback on my child's schoolwork. 78% agree or strongly agree. In terms of school leadership, a strong majority of parents, 82%, strongly agree or agree that their school's principal makes decisions that are in the best interest of students on that campus. Also in school leadership, we asked our parents, have you had an issue or concern to discuss with the principal or assistant principal this year? 81% of our parents said no, they did not, and 19% said yes. Of that 19%, we asked, was he or she available to talk? 81% said yes. Was he or she courteous? 80% said yes. Was he or she, did they respond to the concerns in a professional manner? 81% said yes. And then did they resolve the concerns? 63% of that 19% said yes. Safety and behavior from parents. My child is safe at this school. 90% of parents agree or strongly agree. I'm aware of safety and security procedures at this school. 78% of parents agree or strongly agree. Discipline is enforced fairly at my child's school. 71% agree, strongly agree. And teachers and students respect one another at this school. 79% agree, strongly agree. Continuing with safety and behavior, the school is a safe place from gang activity. 79% of parents agree, strongly agree. The school is free of weapons. 77% of parents agree, strongly agree. 54% agree that bullying is not a problem, and alcohol or drug use is not a problem at this school. 70% agree, not agree. And we do see the gray there as a lot of unknowns. And so perhaps we have an opportunity to do some more education to increase that as well. School operations. My child has access to computers at school for learning. 92% of parents agreed, strongly agreed. My child has access to the internet at school for learning purposes. 90% agree, strongly agree. Fresh, high-quality food is served at my child's school. 54% of parents agreed, strongly agree, and my child gets enough to eat at school. 73% of our parents agreed and strongly agreed. The price of a school lunch is fair. 74% of parents agreed, strongly agreed. My child's school is clean. 93% of parents agreed, strongly agreed. My child has textbooks needed for classes. 81% agree, strongly agreed. And my child's school is well maintained with working air conditioning and heat, adequate lighting, and a well-kept grounds. 94% of our parents agree, strongly agree. We talked to our parents about school buses as well. We asked if their child rides the school bus. 53% said no. 47% said yes. Of the parents who have a student on a school bus, we asked them if their child is safe when riding the school bus. 83% said yes. We asked if the child's school bus is on time most days. 85% said yes. And we asked if transportation has improved from the last school year. 31% did no, but 52% did agree or strongly agree. So a quick summary. Again, we received over 20,000 stakeholder responses for the first time ever, resulting in the largest campus climate survey to date. Participating stakeholders rated their schools favorably, with 87% of parents, 85% of staff members, and 77% of students giving their campus either an A or B. And we talked about how that's been creeping up each year over the past 3 years, again since 2015. And again, all district and campus survey results will be posted online. They are not up there yet. We always present to the board first, but likely by this time next week, you would be able to go in. This is the district overview. You could go online to each campus page and see the individual results for each campus. And that is the campus climate survey update for this school year.
Mike, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm not positive, but is there a disparity between the parents' opinion about safety and guns and drugs on the campuses versus the students? Because it seemed like the students, it was more, the parents felt there were more of it than the kids did. Is that true, or did I remember those numbers wrong?
Oh, there's a lot that didn't know.
Yeah, a lot that didn't know, and the
So
huge gray area.
Yeah.
For the parents. Yeah.
So that's the parents.
Mm-hmm. So this is parents right here. My child is safe at school. You got over right at 90% agreeing or strongly agreeing.
What about where it talked about weapons and drugs? Is that the next page?
That would have a big disparity.
Free of weapons, right. And so you're right. And I talked about that. You see the gray areas there? That's unknown. And so what we're getting is, so I think one thing that we learned from our parents is,
it was kind of,
right, when we go through like these procedures, I think we can talk more about how we can inform, because I think you see overall with the green and the yellow, the parents who are aware, they know they feel confident in what's happening on the campus, but then you get this pretty large blocks, about 20% or higher, they just don't know. And so if we can work with those parents to let them know more about what's happening, they can make some improvements.
Okay, thank you.
Is the survey online English and Spanish?
Yes.
And the other question I had, because I saw, I'm part of many organizations that we try to get the kids to do scholarships, and there's a college counselor and facilitator on your campus, right? There's somebody on every, no? Is there somebody on the high school?
There's a college and career facilitator on every campus with the exception of Fulsher.
Okay. And so there is either a disconnect there that the kids don't know to reach out, or?
Well, I think, and what we continue to work on as well is how these questions are phrased, and those are fairly clear. But talking to our, this is something that every year we've done the survey, all 5 years. It's right about 50% for our high school kids, and we know that our college and career facilitators are out there working with our kids, really starting their freshman year. And so, again, I think it's probably some more proactive efforts on us. Working with our campuses to make sure that our kids are relating what we're seeing that's happening.
Because every year I'm in these organizations and we're trying to give away money and we can't get the kids to fill out the forms to turn it in so that we can give them the money. So be nice to make sure that there's a connection there.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. When you say that the parents, teachers grade our schools an A or a B, what do they have to go by? What covers getting A?
So a climate survey is, it's subjective. It's basically more qualitative. That question is asked. What grade would you give your child's campus? A, B, C, D, or F?
There's no guideline as to what would consist of an A.
It would literally be me, if I asked each trustee right now, what would you grade the district A, B, C, D? And then you put your grade down, and then you get those results out there, and you see what those are across the board for each stakeholder group.
Were these questions the same as last year?
Yes, the questions have not changed from year to year. One thing we talked about with our principals, this is the 5th year we've done campus climate surveys, is potentially working with them on making some changes. We've got 5 years of benchmark data. Maybe we can look at some other things. And once or twice we've had an additional question or two about a specific thing that year. But everything you're seeing here in these different areas, questions are the same year to year. And so after 5 years, that's one thing that we're going to talk with our campus administrators about, maybe continue to look at these areas, but shifting in some additional directions.
Okay, then I have one more question.
Sure.
In one of the surveys, and I was trying to take notes real quick, the counts of the children feeling that they have access to the counselors, 79%, 63% are able to discuss their personal feelings. Do we see that we need to maybe look at more counselors, or is that an area that y'all are going to look into?
You know, honestly, so what this is just immediate feedback from our recent campus climate survey, and so we always present to the board first, and then we dig into it as well. And so similar to our DIP quarterly update, we're going to take this information and we're going to look at all the responses to help formulate our strategies. And so really this is just as fresh for us as it is for you.
Okay.
And so we're working through that.
I'm very interested in that as far as how the students feel like they can really get feedback from everybody.
Right.
Well, you'll be able to tell if it's more elementary or secondary, too, once you dig into it.
Well, this isn't elementary. I think he said 5th grade.
Well, 5th
and
grade's elementary.
Well, yes, but
Yeah.
So, but I mean, if it's where it's falling in.
Right.
which category?
do
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Great, thank you very much.
Very good.
Are there any questions or comments on the information items? If not, we'll adjourn to closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, and 551.082 of the Open Meetings Act at 8:02. Session at 8:13. Do we have some action items from our closed session?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Board of Trustees approve the extension of administrative contracts as presented.
Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? There are none. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Board of Trustees approve the recommendation of Nicholas Cavallo as campus coordinator for George Ranch High School.
Do we have a second to that?
I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Board of Trustees approve the recommendation of Anitra Wilson as the principal of Williams Elementary School.
Do we have a second to that motion?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Thank you. That motion passes. Future agenda items. Upcoming meetings and events.
I think there's an auto show
Oh, Saturday.
Saturday at the
tomorrow.
natatorium.
Yes, Martin Auditorium on Saturday. Don't forget the Teacher of the Year banquet on May the 1st. Special Olympics on the 14th.
Yep.
Summer Leadership Institute, we just signed up for that. Any other,
Our calendar's going to be full.
Teacher Job Fair, April 21st.
and you ought to go to that at least once. That's
Oh.
a great thing. That's
Absolutely.
April 21st?
And it's at where this year? At Foster? Okay.
There's no other business to bring before the board. This meeting is adjourned at 8:15. Thank you.